good morning. Talk about a cloudy morning. I mean, it's still dark and it's beyond the time when it should be light. So, I don't know. I'm not much of a news watcher, so there may be a storm coming or something. I'm at the damn beach anyway. I think I better go up here by the dunes so that there's not so much wind. So today is October 12th, and I'm going to read the daily reflection. See if we can have something to talk about there. Curbing rashness. When we speak or act hastily or rashly, the ability to be fair-minded and tolerant evaporates on the spot. That's from the 12 and 12, page 91. When we speak or act hastily or rashly, the ability to be fair-minded and tolerant evaporates on the spot. Being fair-minded and tolerant is a goal toward which I must work daily. I ask God as I understand Him to help me to be loving and tolerant to my loved ones and to those to whom I am in close contact. I ask for guidance to curb my speech when I'm agitated, and I take a moment to reflect on the emotional upheaval my words may cause, not only to someone else, but also to myself. Prayer, meditation, and inventories are the key to sound thinking and positive action for me. Well, right away, that says prayer, meditation, and inventories. You know, of course, that's that second part that I read is not from any of our literature. It's a fellow alcoholic. But I like what he talks about, prayer, meditation, and inventories being the key. Wow, this thing almost fell over. Being the key to sound thinking and positive action. We talk about prayer and meditation that we do on a daily basis, but inventories, do we do that on a daily basis, or we only do that in our fourth step? No, we do a daily inventory. And you know, a lot of us think of the 10th step when it comes to that, but also in the 11th step, there's a portion of when we retire at night that is an inventory. And in fact, for years I thought that was still talking about the 10th step, but we were actually on the 11th step. On page 86, when we retire at night, we constructively review our day. And here comes the inventory. Were we resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? Do we owe an apology? Have we kept something to ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? What could we have done better? Were we thinking of ourselves most of the time? Or were we thinking of what we could do for others, of what we could pack into the stream of life? So, after making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. So see, there's an inventory in step 11 even. I think it's something that a lot of us forget to do, you know? That's part of when we retire at night. And those are basic instructions on how to live, how to end your day. And then it even gives us instructions on how to begin our day with On Awakening. I've kind of muddled that, I guess, because I have developed a routine of, you know, like coming to the beach and just, you know, praising God out here and thanking Him for all the blessings in my life. That's become my routine. But it's good to get back to basics. Open the book. See what it says. And when I say open the book, most of us have like an app on our phone. I don't know if you guys have seen Everything AA. Fantastic app. It's got all the basic literature and then some. Everything AA. Check that app out. You'll have, you know, the whole AA literature on your phone, so that when you go to a big book meeting or something, you don't have to lug a book around. I like to have the book, excuse me, but you can't always have the book with you. But we always have our phone with us. And so check out the app, Everything AA. So let me read to you what it says on awakening. And I've done a video of that. It's probably the most watched video I've ever done is on awakening. And my face is not part of it. It's my voice reading on awakening and a beautiful ocean and that sort of thing. In fact, I have done a second one since. Anyway, I'm going to read this to you, the on awakening portion of the 11th step. On awakening, again, basic instructions. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking. Now, let me stop there, because before we begin our day, that means like right away. Now, I don't know about you, but the first thing I do when I wake up is I hit the bathroom. I think that's kind of universal. Everybody wakes up needing to pee. So anyway, that's the first thing that I do. Second thing that personally I do is I brush my teeth, because I don't talk to anybody before I do that. Then I get a cup of coffee and I sit down and I thank God for the day. So this is where it talks about that. It says, before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking. Direct our thinking. We're inviting God in so that we're not relying on our thinking. We're relying on the power of God to direct our thinking. That's a lot safer than using our own thinking, don't you think? We ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. I mean, that's self-explanatory. Especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. In other words, God, help me to get out of the way so that you're directing my thinking and I'm not in charge. It's not about me. It's about you, God, and other people. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance. We can employ our mental faculties with assurance. For after all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. And that wrong motives that they're referring to is anything about me. Divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Again, and then back here, cleared of wrong motives. You see? Those are the motives that we're trying to get out of the way. The self-pity, the dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Those are detrimental. In thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We don't know how to do something. We don't, what kind of decision am I going to make here? I don't know. We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for inspiration. Do you ask God for inspiration? God, give me inspiration, an intuitive thought or a decision. We relax and take it easy. We don't struggle. We're often surprised how the right answers come after we've tried this for a while. What used to be the hunch or the occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. Isn't that nice? Being still inexperienced and having just made conscious contact with God, it's not probable that we're going to be inspired at all times. Boy, isn't that the truth? I have to ask and then wait. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, we find that our thinking will, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. We come to rely upon it. God does give us inspiration. I find that when I come out here to the ocean, I find inspiration. It's inspiring for me. Now, I have developed a life that affords me this opportunity to come out here and spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour every morning. There's occasions when that doesn't happen, but for the most part, that's my routine. not all of us have that amount of time. Now, I get up pretty early, specifically for this purpose, but it doesn't have to be, an hour-long thing. One of the things that I heard on Joe and Charlie, and if you've never heard of Joe and Charlie, Google Joe and Charlie. They do a big book study that's phenomenal. But one of the things that I heard on there was, we spend all this time when we wake up in the morning getting prepared for work, we fix our breakfast, we get that coffee, dress ourselves, and make sure our hair is combed and brush our teeth, and we take care of the body, we feed the body, we do all of these things, and then we get in the car and we go to work. Well, what about feeding the mind? What about feeding the spirit? That's what this is about. On awakening, don't just feed the body, feed the mind, feed the spirit. Okay? That's super important. So even 5 minutes of your time in the morning is better than none at all. On awakening is where your day begins. And these are basic instructions, and so what that means is that this is just scratching the surface. I think we all develop our own way of on awakening, and if we can include each and every one of these things that are listed in the book, as well as the things that inspire us, I think that that's where more will be revealed. So here I am at the ocean being inspired by it. And, this is a very cloudy, windy day once again, but man, the clouds are like zipping past. Beautiful, and I'm inspired by it. I'm inspired by it. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so you guys have a great day, and I hope that you have developed, or if you haven't yet, you will develop a routine of some kind, so that in the morning you don't just wake up and feed the body, clothe the body, and then take off in the car. Begin by feeding the mind and the spirit as well. Even if you've only got 5 minutes in which to do it, it's a lot better way. Ask God to direct your thinking. Okay? So, in the meantime, I'm going to go be inspired. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.